Hello and welcome everyone. I'm so glad you're here for Decoding Your Bloodwork, what your doctor missed that's keeping you stuck. Hi, I'm Jody Friebel. I'm a board certified functional health practitioner and women's hormone and gut health specialist. And I help women understand what their labs are actually saying. I hope to have some Q&A at the end, but if I'm unable to answer your questions, please write them down and I'll have my email available at the end. And so you can send me those questions and I'll respond as soon as I can. So, are you ready to dive in? All right, let's go. So, tonight we're decoding your blood work or your labs. What your doctor missed that's keeping you stuck and leaving you burned out, irritable, and unlike yourself. So, my goal is simple to help you understand what's really going on inside your body and to give you hope and tools to start feeling amazing again. Right, so just a quick disclaimer everything I share tonight is for educational purposes only. Please consult your healthcare provider before making medical decisions. So I'll be sharing from both research and my experience working with women in midlife. So this training is for you. If you've been told by your doctor that your labs are fine, but you feel nothing but fine. Maybe you finally want to feel good in your body again, but everything you do isn't working. You've tried the newest supplement fad you've researched or heard from your neighbor or social media influencer. Maybe you felt better for a minute, but you're not getting the results that you want. You've resorted to Googling for your health advice, but now you have analysis paralysis because there's just so much information out there and everyone is so bio-individual that the advice you may be reading or hearing about isn't for you. And you're only to find yourself still feeling exhausted, confused, and stuck. And nothing is working. Totally hear you. So, does this sound familiar? You've been told your labs are normal, but you don't feel normal. You've decided this is just what it's like getting old. Maybe you've ordered supplements that made you feel a little different, but you're not getting the results. So if this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Does any of this resonate with you? Go ahead and type a Y for yes in the comments section. Let me know. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I see. I hear you. You're not alone. All right. So normal isn't always optimal. Normal ranges are what we call population math. So they're based on 90% of the population. And let's be honest, 90% of our population isn't that healthy. So we need your numbers in your story. So what someone might feel like, here's some examples. So if your glucose is normal at 95, your doctor's saying, no, you're fine, your labs are fine. You may already be experiencing afternoon crashes, sugar cravings, irritability when hungry, or difficulty losing weight. So functionally, this suggests mild insulin resistance and blood sugar dysregulation. And so long before diabetes even develops. So what someone might feel like if they have a ferritin of 20. So this 20 is usually flagged as normal. But in real life, you might feel fatigued, cold, foggy, dizzy, or have hair loss. Low ferritin means your tissues don't have enough stored iron to support thyroid function, oxygen delivery, or energy production, especially common in women with heavy periods or gut issues. Here's another example of vitamin D. If your vitamin D levels are around 35 to 40, you may feel achy, low in mood, with sluggish immunity. You might be getting sick more often, or poor sleep. So vitamin D works like a hormone. It influences hundreds of genes. So being barely normal can still leave you suboptimal in energy, mood, and immune balance. So your labs might not flag disease, but they can screen dysfunction, no problem. Here's an example of subclinical hypothyroidism. This means your thyroid is slowing down, but not enough to be considered full hypothyroid by conventional standards. So your doctor would say, this is normal. On labs, you'll usually see a TSH that's slightly elevated, often 2.0 to 4.5 for subclinical hypothyroidism, while T3 and T4 are still within normal ranges. So T3 is your active thyroid hormone. So if it's normal, you're going to feel okay, but you're going to notice. So functionally, this can signal that your thyroid is under strain, often from stress, nutrient deficiencies, or inflammation, and struggling to keep up with your body's demands. And inflammation in midlife women is so common because of our estrogen and progesterone and testosterone imbalances that happen. So people often feel before the labs flag it, often low energy and fatigue, waking or difficulty losing weight, hair loss or thinning, cold hands and feet, brain fog, and low mood. So cortisol, chaos, and here's some examples of energy crashes and sleep issues that you might be having. So stress dysregulates blood sugar and depletes depletes your minerals, for sure, your sodium and potassium, leaving you anxious and fatigued. So here's some blood clues that you might see. You might see a greater score of 90 as you're fasting glucose. You may see low sodium. You may have low morning cortisol if the Dutch test were run, which is your dry urine test for comprehensive hormones, my favorite. But if we're not running that, that would be a marker to look at. But I love the Dutch, and so that would be one. So some symptom bridges you might notice. You wake up wired, then crash mid-afternoon. Does this sound familiar, ladies? So stress, again, dysregulates blood sugar, depletes minerals, and leaving you anxious and fatigued. Next, we have insulin resistance and weight gain in afternoon slumps. So insulin isn't just about sugar, it's a fat storage hormone. So here's some blood clues that we might see. Fasting glucose, which again is overnight fasting without any food, of 88 or higher. A hemoglobin A1C of 5.3 or higher, which is your 3-month marker for insulin, for blood glucose, and then triglycerides over 100. So you may crave carbs, but it can't lose the weight, and feel sleepy after meals. So insulin, again, isn't just about sugar, it's a fat storage hormone. So here's thyroid and iron traps. These are the symptoms of cold hands, hair loss, and fatigue. So if your thyroid is sluggish or your cells lack iron, your mitochondria can't make energy, no matter how you feel. That's just plain and simple. But some blood clues to look for: TSH between 2.5 to 4.5, which we just discussed, is subclinical sluggishness, basically. Subclinical hypothyroidism. And then a ferritin of below 50 or lower, and then low iron saturation. So this is the rate at which you have oxygenation in your blood, and if that percentage is low, that's a sign. Also, high TIBC. So this is a sign of deficiency. So this is something to consider. So your story is, if your thyroid's sluggish, as I mentioned earlier, your cells lack iron, your mitochondria can't make energy, and no wonder you feel flat. And so here's another example: estrogen and gut trap, PMS, bloating, and mood swings. Can you put a Y in the chat if this is you? Oh, yeah, I totally hear you. Yeah, there's a Y. So here's some blood clues to look for. So your ALT and your AST, these are your liver enzymes. If they're high normal, this suggests sluggish liver detox. So those estrogens aren't able to detox that way. So that would be a signal. Also, elevated eosinophils, which could lead to food sensitivities. Also, in your GI map correlation, if it were run, another one of my favorite functional labs that's different than blood work, would be dysbiosis. So dysbiosis is an imbalance in your gut bugs. And high steatocrit. And so high steatocrit is a marker for maldigestion of your fats that you're eating. So your gut detoxes estrogen. If it's inflamed, your hormones get recycled back into your system. And that's not good. So you have to remember here, you're not broken. Your body is brilliant. It's just sending you feedback, and it's important that we pay attention. So every symptom you feel is simply feedback. It's your body's way of communicating what it needs more of, or maybe less of. So when we shift from frustration to curiosity, healing becomes possible. So take Sarah, for example. She's 49, a busy teacher, mom of two, and one of those women who always gets 110% to everyone else. She was running on fumes, exhausted by mid afternoon, tossing and turning all night, and constantly feeling like her mood was swinging between wiped out and wired. And so here's some blood labs that we looked at. So her ferritin was 22. So again, that's low iron storage. Her glucose was 95, which suggests early insulin resistance. And then her ALT, which is her liver enzyme, showed liver stress, potential liver stress. So, and then the GI map, again, had dysbiosis, imbalanced microbes in her gut, plus the high steatocrit, which means there's malabsorption of fat. She's definitely not able to digest her foods or assimilate her nutrients the way that she really should. And so the root cause is her gut and liver were overwhelmed. She wasn't breaking down fats, absorbing nutrients, or clearing hormones efficiently. This created inflammation, bloating, and fatigue, while elevated cortisol from stress kept her stuck in survival mode. So my approach is the balance method. We focused on two of the key pillars. So gut repair being one, and this supported, so we used digestive enzyme, and we did some bile support and probiotics while calming the inflammation. And then pillar number two, we focused on cortisol rhythm reset. So we restored her circadian rhythm with morning sunlight, protein-rich breakfasts, magnesium, and a gentle stress and resilience tools. So the results, within 6 months, her bloating started disappearing, her energy and mood stabilized, lost 10 pounds without restricted dieting. And she reported a clear mind and calm I haven't felt in years. So key takeaway, when the gut and stress axis are repaired, everything downstream, hormones, mood, and metabolism begin to rebalance naturally. So meet Jill. So her story is hidden anemia. So she's postmenopausal, suffers from low energy, poor exercise recovery, feeling wired but tired despite her normal labs. What we found was her CBC looked completely normal. And so her doctor said everything's fine. But on a deeper look, her ferritin was 28, meaning her iron storage tanked, and they were nearly empty. So ferritin stores our iron, even though the red blood cells counts hadn't dropped yet. But that would have been another indicator. And again, this is not something typically that your doctor is looking at in correlation. So the root cause was years of stomach acid, suboptimal digestion, and a sluggish liver kept her from absorbing iron efficiently. So without enough iron, her cells couldn't carry oxygen efficiently, leaving her exhausted and foggy even after a full night's sleep. So my approach, again, I always go back to my balance method because it's proven and effective. We focused on restoring her foundations. So iron-rich foods, grass-fed beef, bison, lentils, spinach, and vitamin C-rich pairings. So it's super important to pair iron with vitamin C for absorption. And then we included some digestive enzymes also to enhance nutrient absorption after all these wonderful meals she's eating. Because even if she were eating the most healthiest meals, but if she had gut dysbiosis or her gut immune or digestion was impaired, she wouldn't be able to assimilate and absorb all those nutrients because they aren't getting broken down and digested appropriately. So that's really supportive also, digestive enzymes. And then so her result after several weeks, her energy returned and stamina improved. So really improving the iron without no longer feeling her workouts being depleted after she worked out. Mental clarity and mood lifted, and her ferritin gradually climbed into optimal range. And this is something that we can retest after 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, to see if what we're doing is working. And also we should see results. Symptomology should go away. Symptoms should decline. And then so key takeaway. A normal CBC doesn't always mean optimal health. Functional ranges reveal what the body needs to truly thrive, long before it shows up as a disease. So here's how we fix what blood labs only hint at. So when we test smarter and layer support, the body balances itself because your body is constantly striving for homeostasis or balance. So that's why I created my balance method. It's a signature framework designed to help women move from exhaustion and frustration to energy, clarity, and confidence by addressing the root imbalances of inflammation and imbalance. So it's built around the understanding that your body isn't broken. It's simply out of balance. And when you realign your hormones, digestion, and nervous system, everything starts to work in harmony again. So we begin by resetting the foundation, stabilizing blood sugar, improving sleep, and creating daily consistency so your body feels safe enough to heal. Then we move on to pillar number 2. We assess and awaken, connecting the dots between symptoms and patterns through functional testing and insight-driven strategies. Next, we calm the chaos by easing inflammation, supporting gut health, and regulating stress hormones like cortisol. From there, we restore the rhythm, bringing balance back to your hormonal and metabolic systems so the energy, mood, and cycles feel steady again. And then finally, in pillar number 5, we nurture and sustain. So this is integrating long-term habits of nutrition and mindset tools that help you thrive without constant effort or burnout. So my balance method blends functional medicine, holistic nutrition, and mind-body awareness to help you stop guessing and start healing naturally, sustainably, and with grace. So a little bit about me. I'm a board-certified functional health practitioner. I help motivated but burned out women discover what's really going on in their bodies so they can finally feel like themselves again. A few years ago, I looked like I had it all together. I was you. I was a busy sports mom, professional, and perfectionist. But behind the scenes, I was running on fumes. Fatigue, bloating, brain fog, restless nights, and mood swings became my normal. And to cope, I leaned on caffeine and wine, telling myself it was just how women get through midlife. Eventually, my body crashed, and I ended up in the hospital. That was my wake-up call. I discovered functional medicine and realized my symptoms weren't random. They were my body's way of asking for help. So by addressing my hormones, gut, and stress patterns, I finally healed from the inside out. And the brain fog lifted, my energy came back, and I no longer needed alcohol to cope. So today, through my balance method, I help motivated midlife women like you ditch the fatigue, brain fog, and hormonal chaos so that you can feel lighter, calmer, and unstoppable again. Confident in who you are, not having to second guess all the things that you've learned. You know this is a clear path for you. So if I can rebuild my health and reclaim my spark, you can too. So you might be thinking, this is just aging. Tough it out. There's nothing you can do. So, but the truth is, that's not the whole story. Balancing your digestion and your hormones naturally is possible. And that's what I help you with. You don't have to accept fatigue, mood swings, or burnout as your new normal. Digestion and hormonal balance isn't inevitable. You deserve to feel like yourself again. You also might be thinking, I've done everything. Nothing works. Well, that's not necessarily true because you haven't tried different yet. Because women in midlife, we have to do things different. Our nutrition needs to be different. Our exercise needs to be different. We need to focus on stress reduction. It's critical. And I can explain that more when we go into a clarity call. You haven't worked with a trained practitioner yet who really spends the time to dig deep to find your root causes. So you don't have to take my word for it. Here's what other women have experienced after working on their own health. So take Thea, for example. After working with Jody and adding the right things to my diet and following her guidance, my gut is no longer in misery. The issues that everyone just blew off are gone. It's amazing. Jody's approach is whole person and really cares that her clients become the best they can be. Also take Jen. Here's a perimenopausal woman. Here's what she said about me. Working with Jody has been a joy. Her knowledge of holistic nutrition has been eye-opening. And here's Nancy. She's a postmenopausal woman. I wanted to let you know that my digestive tract is doing so much better. With your help and the supplements you recommended, I am feeling so much better is an understatement. So here's just some happy clients that I worked with in the past. So here we are. You have two options. With all that we've talked about, it's time to make a decision. You have two paths. You can keep pushing through, telling yourself, it's just stress, hormones are getting older, this is just what my new life is about. And because you've just dealt with it for so long, you feel like it's normal. Well, it's not normal. I want you to know that. So you can keep collecting the normal lab results while still feeling exhausted. The bloating is still happening, the anxiousness in your body and anxiety that happens, and stuck in a body that doesn't feel like your own. Or you can choose the path that leads to understanding. So the path where we decode your labs together, where we uncover the hidden patterns behind your fatigue, your weight loss resistance, your inflammation, and mood swings. So where you stop guessing and start healing. So with data, strategy, and support. So this is what I do inside my 5-step proven balance method. I help women just like you find what their bodies have been trying to say all along so that they can finally feel calm, strong, and balanced again. Your body isn't broken, it's brilliant. It's just waiting for you to listen, and I'll show you how. So ready to choose your path? Let's get started. So in the link below, you'll find where to schedule my consultation call, my free consultation call. And you've had the data all along, and now it's time to decode it. So here's the time is right now for a clarity call. Let's turn normal into a plan for you functionally. So if you're ready to stop dragging yourself through the day, I invite you to book a free Happy Hormone Strategy call, clarity call with me today. But on this call, I will personally evaluate and look at your symptoms. Now, let me make this clear. This is not just some scripted process that everybody's getting or whatever. No, this is a customized conversation for you where I'm going to take your symptoms, things you're already doing, things you've done in the past, things that may be getting in the way. We're going to do a little bit of a deep dive into what motivates you, your health goals, and find your why. And why is now the time to choose you? But I do want to make really clear that if this call is for you, if you're a motivated midlife woman who's really driven, who really cares about their health, both physically, emotionally, and spiritually, you've decided your health is one of the top priorities right now, and you're ready to get real answers. So this isn't a quick fix. This isn't a one-size-fits-all. But this is unique and specific to you and your health goals, something that you are wanting to solve right now. So go below and click the link to book a call with me, and I can't wait to talk to you really, really soon. Oh, and I only take a few spots this week because I really prioritize taking time with you, and I give all of my clients a lot of my time and dedication to root cause support. Also, as a thank you for those who booked today, I'll gift you my 5 things making you sick and fat. I also want to include a functional lab cheat sheet for you so that you can take, with your next doctor's appointment. So that'll be available. Again, here's a heads up. I only take 5 women a month because I believe finding your root cause so that you can live your life with energy and confidence is so important. It takes time. So once we wrap this session, bonuses will go away. So click the link below to book your call, and let's uncover and decode your labs that are keeping you stuck. Here's some, you can get a hold of me at my email at jody@livinyorganically.com. Check me out on my website and my socials. Please follow for more. And as a promise, as we discussed, I will be sending the 5 darn things keeping you sick, and also the Decoding Your Labs Functional Lab cheat sheet. All right, thank you, and have a wonderful day. Hope to talk to you soon.